The biggest stars in music, award-winning actors, powerful politicians, even members of royal families may all be caught on secret tapes from Diddy's most private parties. For years, these rumors were only whispers. But the second Diddy was locked behind bars, people who once stayed silent suddenly started talking. And now the real question isn't whether Diddy is guilty, it's how many untouchable names will fall with him once the truth comes out. People online have been buzzing about what supposedly went on at Diddy's secret parties, events some folks now call freak-offs. For years, these rumors were mostly jokes and whispers. But now that Diddy is officially behind bars, people who once stayed silent are suddenly talking. One of the first to speak up was actor Omar Gooding. He claimed that when Diddy threw parties, things got way wilder than anyone ever imagined. He joked that he never got invited himself, and even compared his situation to Dave Chappelle, saying he felt too ugly for the list. According to Omar, there are mysterious recordings that may show big celebrities joining in at these legendary parties, and that's where the internet truly exploded. Omar Gooding recently shocked the internet when he claimed that a long list of high-profile celebrities, famous musicians, award-winning actors, powerful politicians, and even members of royal families might be connected to mysterious tapes supposedly recorded at Diddy's most secretive parties. He didn't name names directly in every case, but the hints alone were enough to make millions of people lean in and listen. Because if what he's saying is even partly true, it could shake the entertainment world to its core. According to Omar, these alleged tapes weren't just random recordings. They were said to show private moments involving people the public sees as untouchable, the kind of footage that could ruin careers, destroy marriages, and flip global reputations upside down. And if the truth ever came out, Omar believes the fallout would be shocking. Not just eye-opening, history-changing, but the talk didn't really heat up until after Diddy's legal problems escalated. Once he was hit with a 50-month sentence tied to a prostitution-related case, reactions online were intense. Many people felt the sentence seemed surprisingly light, especially after Diddy managed to steer clear of much heavier charges earlier in the investigation. Some supporters argued he was being treated unfairly by the legal system. Others said the punishment didn't come close to the scale of what they believed was happening behind closed doors. For a moment, the public wasn't even sure that Diddy was actually in custody. His influence, wealth, and connections made people wonder whether he might avoid the consequences entirely. But then, one simple photo changed everything. TMZ released an image allegedly showing Diddy behind bars, dressed in jail uniform, looking far from the flashy music mogul the world was used to seeing. That single picture made the situation feel real for many. And almost instantly, people who were once too afraid to speak started stepping forward. The fear began to crack. Whispers turned into conversations, and conversations turned into interviews. The narrative shifted from, "Will anything happen to Diddy?" to "How far does this story really go?" Omar Gooding became one of the loudest voices claiming there's much more buried beneath the surface. He insisted that Diddy's parties weren't just social gatherings. They were exclusive, high-risk environments where strangers became allies and deals were made in the dark. The events allegedly brought together the most influential people across multiple industries, all mixing without cameras, without reporters, and without rules. Omar suggested that these rumored tapes may have been one of the biggest bargaining tools in the entertainment industry. In his view, whoever controlled the tapes controlled the narrative and protected the reputations of the world's elite internet users. Took that idea and ran with it. Some people online believe that powerful individuals might have helped push legal action against Diddy, simply to secure those recordings and keep them hidden forever. Not to expose him, but to protect themselves. The theory goes, once the tapes were out of Diddy's hands, the urgency to silence him disappeared. Case closed, ties cut. Secrets locked away. Or as many commenters put it, no tape, no case. As Omar's interviews spread across social media, thousands of people started commenting with growing outrage, disbelief, and curiosity. Many questioned why so few were speaking up until now. Why wait until Diddy was already behind bars? Why did so many people stay quiet for so long? Some responses defended Omar, arguing that warning the public about possible risks, even if unproven, is better than letting people live in ignorance. Others warned against jumping to conclusions, reminding everyone that rumors can easily spiral into misinformation. One top-liked comment summarized the debate perfectly. If he's lying, it's dangerous. If he's telling the truth, it's even more dangerous. At this point, the situation has become bigger than Diddy alone. It's sparked a wider conversation about power and secrecy in elite spaces, who gets to tell the truth and who gets protected from it. Because the idea that celebrities or public figures could do whatever they want without accountability is something many people already suspect. Omar's claims only poured fuel on that fire. Still, it's important to note, nothing Omar alleged has been proven in court. And no official evidence has confirmed the existence of any tapes. And all of this remains speculation, rumors, and public discussion. But that hasn't stopped the internet from demanding answers. If these recordings never existed, why are so many insiders acting nervous? If they do exist, will the public ever see what's on them? And if powerful people are involved, how far will they go to keep their names hidden? Right now, the world is waiting. Some expect more whistleblowers. Some expect more lawsuits. Some think this story is only just beginning. What's clear is that the silence is breaking. And once the truth starts to leak, even one drop may be enough to flood the entire industry. As soon as the public realized Diddy was actually behind bars, everything changed. People who once kept quiet, whether out of fear, loyalty, or pressure, suddenly began stepping forward with stories about what they claim they saw at his private parties. These weren't regular celebrity get-togethers with drinks and music. According to Omar Gooding and others speaking online, they were chaotic, heavily controlled, and clouded in mystery. Guests were reportedly forced to give up their phones. No cameras, no outside friends, and definitely no talking afterward. The #1 rule seemed to be, whatever happens here, stays here. But now, that silence is cracking. Omar has described these events as something that walked the line between a party and a power test, a place where people were encouraged, or pressured, to push boundaries they'd never cross in the outside world. He claimed that some attendees joined willingly, while others looked uncomfortable or unsure of what they'd gotten themselves into. Again, these are Omar's claims based on what he says he witnessed or heard. None of this has been proven in court. What worried him most, though, was the idea that the atmosphere could have put people at personal risk. He warned that if certain health-related rumors floating around the internet turned out to be true, guests might have unknowingly exposed themselves, or others, to serious consequences. This part of the story has sparked major speculation, but it's important to note, there is no official confirmation of anyone's health status or medical condition. Still, the possibility alone has fueled panic and outrage online. Omar said he tried to distance himself from the situation at first. He didn't want to get involved in legal battles or drag anyone, especially his own family, into deeper trouble. But as more voices started coming out publicly, he said it became clear that people were genuinely scared and confused about what might have happened over the years. Some who attended those events reportedly claimed they didn't fully understand what they were walking into, that they thought they were going to a regular celebration with music, drinks, and familiar faces. Instead, they found themselves in dim-lit rooms, surrounded by strangers, with staff enforcing strict rules. One anonymous poster online said that walking into one of Diddy's private lounges felt like stepping into a completely different world, one where powerful people acted like there would never be consequences for their choices. Whether that story is real or exaggerated, it reflects a growing fear among the public. When the rich and famous think they're untouchable, what happens behind the curtain? For years, there had been rumors floating around elite circles, whispers of tapes, blackmail material, and favors exchanged in dark spaces. But nothing ever seemed to come out of it. No evidence surfaced. No one dared talk. It felt like the kind of conspiracy theory people mention online but never see play out in the real world. Then the legal trouble hit. And now? Those whispers are becoming headlines. Many people believe that the sudden rush of interviews and confessions isn't random timing, that people may feel safer speaking now that law enforcement has stepped in. Others think these stories are only surfacing because some individuals are trying to protect themselves before anyone else points fingers. Regardless of the motive, there's one common thread. These accounts all describe the same strange, secretive patterns: private entrances, security guards checking for recording devices, VIP corners sectioned off from the rest of the space, rooms none of the guests were allowed to open. The kind of event where even celebrities with tens of millions of followers felt like nobodies, compared to the true power players in the back rooms. Some fans online say it feels like Hollywood has been living a double life, one for the cameras, and one the public was never meant to see. Of course, with no official proof released to the public, everything remains speculation. Many legal experts warn that rumors alone can easily misrepresent the truth. They say people should be cautious before assuming guilt, especially when the stakes involve reputations, careers, and families. But others argue that these new voices speaking out deserve to be heard, and that ignoring them only benefits those who may have abused their influence for too long. At this point, the big questions everyone is asking are, what really happened at those parties? Who knew what and when? And if tapes really exist, will they ever see the light of day? As more insiders step forward, this story continues to grow, reaching far beyond one person and pulling the world of entertainment, politics, and power into the spotlight. One thing is clear, people aren't staying silent anymore. And once the truth starts to come out, it rarely stops halfway. Omar made it clear he isn't interested in protecting anyone anymore. He said that if a person willingly attended those parties and participated in the type of behavior being described online, then the public deserves to know who they are. No more cover-ups. No more pretending nothing happened. He even stated that some of the names he intends to mention are people he cares about, individuals who worked closely with Diddy for years or shared personal friendships with him. But in Omar's eyes, loyalty shouldn't silence the truth. If something wrong was happening and people looked the other way, he believes that needs to be exposed. This becomes especially complicated when it comes to his own family. His brother, actor Cuba Gooding Jr., has already been brought up in different legal cases connected to Diddy, not as a confirmed participant in anything illegal, but simply as someone who appeared in the same social circles. Those earlier mentions created their own wave of speculation, and now Omar's new comments have added more fuel to the fire. To be clear, there has been no official ruling that connects Cuba Gooding Jr. to the allegations people are discussing online. But when the internet sees even the slightest link, especially a family link, rumors spread fast. And right now, curiosity around this situation is at an all-time high. Omar knows the risks. Speaking out against powerful figures in the entertainment industry can lead to backlash, lawsuits, and pressure to stay silent. However, he says that those risks no longer scare him. In his view, any discomfort he faces now is nothing compared to the emotional damage some people claim they experienced behind closed doors. Whether Omar is motivated by justice, anger, or a desire to clear his own conscience, the results are the same. More attention, more questions, and more names being pulled into the spotlight. People online are split. Some praise him for being brave and breaking the silence. Others accuse him of chasing attention during a chaotic moment, speaking without proof, and dragging innocent people into a situation that may already be spiraling out of control. But one thing is certain, Omar isn't done talking. And if he continues to reveal every name he claims he saw, the list could shock a lot of people. Music producer Lil Rod Jones previously filed a massive lawsuit claiming that Diddy's team tried to push him into uncomfortable situations with Diddy's associates. His lawsuit also mentioned Cuba by name, which fueled even more rumors. Right now, much of what's being said is still allegations, rumors, and speculation, not confirmed facts. But as more people speak up, the internet is holding its breath, waiting to see what truth, if any, will come out next. According to lawsuit statements and online rumors, one music producer, Lil Rod Jones, claims that something uncomfortable happened during a trip on Diddy's yacht. He says that Diddy introduced him to actor Cuba Gooding Jr., left them alone in a studio space, and that Cuba allegedly made unwanted advances. Jones claims he tried to pull away, and only got Cuba to stop after physically pushing him back. These details have not been proven in court, and remain part of ongoing legal disputes. This controversy isn't the first time Cuba Gooding Jr. has faced accusations about boundaries and consent. He was previously taken to court over separate allegations involving women in New York nightlife. Because of that past, some people say this new situation raises more concerns about his behavior. Though again, these are allegations, not confirmed facts. Omar Gooding, Cuba's younger brother, has recently spoken publicly about Diddy's secret parties. While he says he still cares for his brother, he also says he wants to protect the public, warning people who were close to that circle to be cautious. He admitted he doesn't confront Cuba directly about any of this because of their age difference and family dynamic. He still feels like the little brother, even as an adult. Omar joked that when men hang out, They don't sit around asking each other about scandals and drama. They're just there to chill, watch the game, and ignore everything else going on. Still, he stands by what he's heard from others, and he strongly believes the truth will eventually come out. Online inside sources, again, unverified, claim that multiple famous figures were linked to Diddy's alleged secret parties. These rumors name major musicians, actors, and Hollywood power players, but none of that has been proven, and no official evidence has been released. Right now, it's a storm of accusations, interviews, lawsuits, and speculation. And everyone is waiting to see what facts, if any, will emerge next. Omar Gooding has been making some bold claims about what he says was recorded at Diddy's secret parties. In interviews, he hinted that tapes might exist, tapes that could include some of the biggest stars and most powerful people in the world. From global icons in music and movies to well-known public figures, Omar suggested these events weren't just Hollywood hangouts. They were about building connections among the elite. He claimed it wasn't only entertainers, but politicians, wealthy business leaders, and even members of royal families who were allegedly linked to these mysterious events. According to Omar, Diddy was the one bringing all these powerful people together behind closed doors. Now here's where the rumor mill goes into overdrive. Some online sources claim that during the investigations into Diddy, certain names floated around but never went to trial, raising questions about who might have been protected in the shadows. And Omar believes that these powerful individuals may have pushed for Diddy's downfall, not to hold him accountable, but to secure anything that could tie them to those late-night activities. In other words, once the tapes were in the right hands, the game changed. Or as people online like to say, no tape, no case. Since Omar began speaking publicly, fans have been reacting nonstop. Some viewers believe he's trying to protect the public by sharing what he knows. Others think there are still huge pieces of the story missing, and powerful people working hard to keep it that way. Comment sections are full of questions. Why is everyone coming forward now? If these rumors are true, who else knew? Is Omar brave? Or just scratching the surface? At this point, everything being discussed is speculation and unverified allegations. But with more voices speaking up each week, the public is left wondering, is Omar exposing the truth? Or are we only seeing the beginning of a much bigger story?